Hey everybody. Hey, I wanted to come on here for a little bit and talk about a core struggle of mine and how I've overcome it, or I've made some progress on it. And that's the core struggle of being a nice guy. If you don't know what a nice guy is, some other terms are people pleaser, conflict avoidant, um, yes man. And I've done a lot of work on being able to step into my power, my assertiveness, my confidence, and yeah, made some victories. So just wanted to share a little bit about my journey with you. I think there's some people who can relate. So um, all my life, I have been afraid of conflict. I don't want to upset you. I want you to like me. And that comes at the cost of neglecting my own needs, my own feelings. And essentially, it's self abandonment at the end of the day. I abandon myself for you. You're more important than me. And that creates a lack of self respect, kind of a chronic lack of self respect. But as long as you like me, I feel worthy and I feel safe. Things are good. And I would bend myself backwards for all kinds of people in every situation, but mostly in relationships with women. If I could get a woman to like me, if she could, if I could charm her, if she could give me her approval, I'd feel good about myself. And the sad part is that it never actually filled the void. There was a void of unworthiness there. And I would get it, and then it's fleeting. So I'd have to get it again, and get it from a different person, and then a different person. And it never actually filled my cup. And it created a lot of issues in my life, a lot of dysfunctional, unhealthy, painful relationships that would just be cyclical, happening over and over and over again. And so it got to the point where I was like, I can't keep doing the same pattern. What's going on? And so I said, I'm not getting into relationships anymore with women. I need to be single for a long time. I need to figure out what's going on. And so, yeah, I did that. That was about 4 or 5 years ago. And I decided to go into therapy, and I saw a counselor, and he specialized in this, and he recommended the book No More Mr. Nice Guy. And that book, changed my life. And it's been a really good, tough journey of understanding why I am the way I am, what happened to create it, and how to undo it. And typically, for nice guys, there's a dynamic in childhood where you have to give up your power, or you're placed in a situation where you have to take care of someone. Your needs are not that important. It's more about them, right? And that can look all kinds of different ways. But essentially, at the end of the day, there's no space for you. There are things that are more important outside of yourself that you need to tend to, you need to focus on and take care of, right? So we then develop this fear of confrontation, this fear of upsetting someone, this fear of someone not liking, not approving of us. And then the core belief becomes, if you like me, I'm good, I'm okay, I'm safe, essentially. I want to feel safe. I don't want to feel worthy, right? So, and we can do this on a spectrum, right? We can be like, yeah, I do this in small micro ways, or like, yeah, this is definitely my identity, who I am big time, right? And wherever you fall on the spectrum, it's not serving you. And you can start to inquire, like, okay, what's going on? How do I want to change these little small ways I'm showing up and be in more integrity with myself, be in more alignment with my values and who and what I really feel and think? Or like, how do I change my whole friggin' life? So I wanted to share some really helpful things I've done and that you can do to overcome this. And the first is getting into counseling, getting into therapy, finding a therapist that you jive with who is knowledgeable about this topic. And not all of them are. So finding the right fit. But essentially what you want to do, this is the most effective thing here, is that you want to regress yourself to a child. You want to regress yourself to when you were a kid, and to be able to have a corrective experience. So a lot of that would be role play, where the therapist or even a friend could create the dynamic that you were in when you were little, that you've identified, of when you had to, give up yourself to be able to take care of them, and role play that. So they're going to be the person who you had to take care of, or whatever the situation might be, and you're going to be you. And then you're going to have them say the lines, do the things, and start to feel some of that fear come up. And then feel it, but then change your response to a healthy one, to a confident one, to a one that's aligned with how you really feel, underneath the fear, or underneath the panic, or the anxiety that might be there. Right? And get some reps on that. Right? So that's going to be the most important thing, is for you to psychologically regress yourself back to when you were a child, and then do it from there. Your inner child is going to really thank you for that, and you're going to create more trust between you and your inner child, and that connection there is going to grow. And he, or it could be she, if you're a woman, listen to this, but he is gonna start to trust you more, and he's not going to get so activated in life situations when you start showing up for him in these ways. He'll say, you know what, he can handle it. Another thing you can do is you can spar. You can get into martial arts. So essentially, that's a physical representation of what's going on psychologically for you, right? There's opposition. They're coming at you, and you're having to say no. You're having to say, here's my power, here's my strength, here I am, and there's resistance there, right? And you can take some boxing classes, you can hop into some Muay Thai, but essentially, or what I do is I have some pads. My friend has some pads. We meet in a field. We go, we just box a little bit. We don't go all out, but it forces you to really step into and feel your strength and your power against something that feels threatening. Another one is partner dancing. You can go salsa dancing, bachata, any kind of partner dancing. But essentially, that's allowing you to step into leadership, right? There's a follow and there's a lead, right? And so step into that lead, and then now someone is giving themselves to you, and you're in control. You're in the dominant position of saying, here's my power, and I'm going to be in full control of what we're doing here, right? That's been something really intimidating, but really helpful for me to do. Another thing is just go to the gym, feel resistance, right? That's a pretty safe one. That's a safe entry right there, is, push-ups, find exercises at the gym, bench press, squat, where you're having to exert yourself against opposition. Another one is brotherhood. And talk about this issue in the space of brotherhood, because we can't see our blind spots, but they can, right? And so if we are sharing what's really going on in our lives, and we're, week to week sharing about this thing, they're able to see things we're not and point them out, and it increases our self-awareness. And when we increase our self-awareness, we increase our choice and our autonomy with what we're doing with our life. So it's about making the unconscious conscious. And the more we stay in a lack of self-awareness or unconscious to our behaviors that are oftentimes just these trauma responses, these self-protection responses that we've learned, the more that those are driving the bus, and we're not driving the bus. We want to drive the bus. So telling that to your friends. And the last one is just get some daily affirmations going on. Some ones that have been helpful for me is, I have needs. My needs matter. I have feelings. My feelings matter. I can upset you. I can disappoint you. Your discomfort is not my responsibility. And just repeating those, writing them on your mirror, looking at them in the morning when you brush your teeth. So yeah, those are some things that have been really helpful for me, and I hope helpful for you if this is an area that you struggle with a little bit. And I personally think this is a bit of an epidemic amongst men, and it needs to be talked about, it needs to be addressed, and normalized. So yeah, wanted to share all that. Hope it's helpful. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions, you want to ask me some things about this. Yeah, you can message me on Instagram, Tay Houch, or find me on Facebook, Taylor Houchens, and love to share that. I've got a lot more I can say about it, but here's a little brief video for you. Thanks.